Junior Rotax now out on circuit. A little bit of a spin for Pedersen in the 247, who is due to start in 6th position. Valentin Klus will start from pole ahead of Nikita Genza. The pair was separated by just 2 1,000ths after an intense qualification session earlier on this morning. Rafael Renhofer will start in 3rd in the 233, and alongside will be the 245 of Farin Mega. Then it will be Kian Agasade and Pedersen in the 247 alongside each other, with Neville Fischer, Louis Jacobs, Maurice Meis, Louis Detling, Leon Arndt, Rafael Balzer and Yanni Stiak. So the drivers now make their way towards the final part of the start. We are about to get things underway for the penultimate race of Junior Rotax here at Wittgenborn. They push the accelerators to the floor. It is lights out. They are off and racing. Renhofer gets the jump on Genza, going through into turn 1. As the drivers make their way through into the next corner, and there's been a little bit of a tussle between the two teammates as Genza was just up ahead, as now Genza trying to go up the inside of Renhofer, who drifts wide. That allows Agasade to get through, and Farin Mega, before they even hit the chicane. But Valentin Klus has got away into the distance like a scalded cat and has just decided to pull away from the rest of the opposition, having a 30-plus point lead coming into the final day, as now Farin Mega jumps up the inside through the right-hander on Kian Agasade to take 3rd place. Pedersen trying to pressurise as it's nearly 2 by 2 between 4 competitors, a little bit further towards the back part of the field as they are wrestling for position. Rafael Balzer in the mix there. Luigi Gasso just on the back bumper of Stiak. So now the drivers making their way through. Valentin Klus last time around had a 1.2 second lead over Nikita Genza. Farin Mega now rounds out the top 3. Agasade in 4th, Renhofer in 5th, followed by Neville Fischer. Louis Jacobs rounds out the top 7 places. So now it's getting a bit hot under the collar here at Wittgenborn, because the drivers from 5th downwards, which has the likes of Rafael Renhofer leading the way, ahead of Neville Fischer, Louis Jacobs, Pedersen, Schmeis, aren't now complete the top 10. But the gap that Valentin Klus still has is just over 1.18 seconds after 2 laps completed. And it is still plenty much undecided who is going to finish where in this race. But Valentin Klus has managed to get away early and broken the opposition's possibility of a momentum carry in their favour. But Farin Mega is closing on Nikita Genza. The gap between the pair was just under 0.4 of a second last time around. Eight minutes and 20 seconds still remaining on the clock. Klus leads from Genza by 1.162 seconds after the completion of lap 3. Lap 4 will very shortly be completed. And Klus has kept ahead and tried to get away early. Genza now being pressurised by Farin Mega in the 245. Yesterday's day winner, Agasade, Renhofer. Neville Fischer rounds out the top 6 positions ahead of Louis Jacobs. And then also Magnus Pedersen in the 247 from Denmark. So with all drivers still circulating at the moment, Yanni Stiak has got past Leon Arndt. There's now Pedersen trying to go towards the outside of Louis Jacobs. Looks to get the cut back. Sorry, there was Fischer trying to get the cut back on Louis Jacobs, but Magnus Pedersen now closing. So that is a three-way scrap for that position. Now the two teammates line astern as Fischer takes a look over the left shoulder to see where Pedersen is. And the gap between Klus and Genza is now closing. It's now gone under 0.97 seconds after 5 laps completed. And Farin Mega has set the fastest lap after lap number 5 of 46.649. So Farin Mega showing good pace. They've dropped Kian Agasade by a considerable margin, make that over 2.1 seconds. Venhofer still circulating and is a bit lonesome in 5th place. Louis Jacobs still ahead of Neville Fischer and Magnus Pedersen. Maurice Schmeiss in 9th. Janis Stiak in 10th ahead of Leon Arndt and Rafael Balza, rounding out the top 12 positions. Detling Agazzo still running. And Genza and Mega are closing on Valentin Klus once again. Gap now between Klus and Genza just over 3/4 of a second. Now make that 0.674. And Genza has now taken the fastest lap of anybody in this race at 46.592, completed just over a lap ago. Venhofer now trying to close on Agasade and has gone just over a tenth quicker than the 262. The gap between the pair was just under a second last time around, make that just under 9/10. Maurice Schmeiss has now dropped behind Janis Stiak in the 238, who's now up into 9th position. Leon Arndt now sets a personal best. Valentin Klus also set a personal best last time around, but the two behind are a little bit quicker on the tarmac. They come across the line once again. Gap now just over half a second between Klus and Genza, and make it just over 3/4 of a second as Farin Mega is still behind the 226 from Buehler Kart Racing Team. Venhofer again has closed on Agasade and did a 46.968 last time round. Agasade was nearly 0.2 of a second slower on that last lap alone. So with the way that the race is going at the moment, the gap has closed. The top 3 covered by just under 6.5 tenths. And as they say, unpredictability is a part of racing, especially in the karting world. Klus managed to get away, but I think maybe has just taken a little bit too much out of the Mojo tyres over the first few laps, and that has allowed the pure pace of Genza and Mega to start closing on the 201 from RS competition. They go through the hairpin. And they are line astern, going through the right-hander, now into the left, that brings them onto the final left-hander that puts them on the start-finish straight. And you can see how close Genza is to Klus, and then Farin Mega just behind. And they are covered by just over 4 tenths. Genza on lap number 9 set the fastest lap of anybody, a 46.580, and is waiting for that chance to strike, like a tiger waiting in the reeds. As they go down the far part of the circuit, Klus knows that the pair are behind and they are closing quickly. Genza nearly forced the issue there, but Farin Mega now powers round the outside of Nikita Genza. That was a great move from the 245. Genza, I think, got caught out unawares as now Venhofer trying to battle away with with Kian Agasade for 4th place. So Klus still continues to lead after lap 11. Venhofer closing on Agassade through turn 1. And that's for 4th place. So this is where it all comes down to who wants it the most, who's going to push, who's going to have that strategy, that trump card in their pocket. When they play the joker, it could turn the race upside down on its head. Mega takes the title line through the hairpin. Now they go into the right-hander, into the last right-hander on the circuit before a double left. We have 1 minute and 40 seconds still remaining on the clock. So Venhofer has already overtaken Can Agassade after a couple of laps of trying. But the top 3 still making their way through. And it has not changed for the last couple of laps after Farin Mega's move on Nikita Genza. As Magnus Pedersen still keeping in touching distance with teammate Neville Fischer. The cat and mouse game continues. So the drivers now really have an opportunity to do their utmost. One more race after this one to decide the championship battle. And Farin Mega senses that a chance of a third victory this weekend could very well be on the cards. They're going to the chicane once more. Just 30 seconds remain on the clock. Venhofer still staying ahead of Agassade for 4th place. Luis Jacobs, Neville Fischer, Magnus Pedersen, Janis Diak and Maurice Schmeis complete the top 10, followed by Balzer, Arndt, Detling and Gadsor. All drivers have made it so far through this race as the time is fast about to expire. They come round the final corner with 1 second on the line. Valentin Klus still leads. We go on to the 15th and penultimate lap of this race as Genza closes up on the back bumper of Farin Mega. You cannot put anything between these 3 drivers at the front of the field. They have absolutely cantered away. And a considerable margin between Genza and Agassade has now got back past Venhofer. As this time around, we will have 1 more lap remaining. So this time the last lap board comes out. This gives Valentin Klus the signal. Looks over the left shoulder. Pulls towards the inside of turn 1 to defend against Farin Mega very quickly. Nikita Genza still waiting in the wings. Venhofer still behind Agassade in the battle for 4th and 5th. Luis Jacobs still keeping ahead as Neville Fischer still keeping Magnus Pedersen at bay as the leaders now make their way towards the final part of the circuit. Through into the hairpin they go. And it's possibly not going to be enough. It looks like Valentin Klus has got about a 3-kart length lead going into the final double right as Genza goes up the inside of Mega with 3 corners to go to retake 2nd. But the checkered flag now being waved and Valentin Klus takes the victory. Nikita Genza still 2nd by 52 thousandths ahead of Farin Mega. Can Agassade takes 4th. Rafael Venhofer takes 5th. Luis Jacobs in 6th ahead of Neville Fischer. Magnus Pedersen, Janis Diak and Maurice Schmeis round out the top 10. Rafael Balzer in the 2:17 takes 11th ahead of Leon Arndt in the 2:08. Louis Detling takes 13th in the 2:73 and Luigi Gadsor in the 2:86 rounds out the 14 strong.